I'm starting by hitting a 3/4 8 iron at the right hand side of the green, as there is a bunker that protects the left side, so I'm playing away from the danger. Here I'm hitting a chip shot with my gap wedge. Unfortunately I underhit it a little bit, so it comes up short. Here I make a good roll to try and save par, but unfortunately I miss on the high side. It's the better side to miss on though, as at least it gave it a chance to go in. There's a few holes coming up where I can get that shot back. For this short par 4, I'm just in a 5 iron off the tee. There's a river that runs down the left hand side of the fairways and thick trees down the right. This is a better play for safety. Here I'm just hitting a punch 7 iron to try to keep it out of the wind, and also a branch that's just in front of me. As you can see from the sauna follow through, that's a nice finish position for a punch shot. Here I'm playing the bump and run technique, land it about a third the way to the hole and let it roll out like a putt. It's a much safer shot than trying to hit a high spinning flop shot. I finish this hole by just making a nice smooth stroke to hold a 3-foot putt for par. To start this par 5, I'm just trying to hit a draw with my driving iron, so go with the shape of the fairway. Here I'm hitting 4 iron to try and leave myself about 150 yards in. I hit it a little bit out of the heel so it doesn't quite go as far, but it's still on the left hand side of the fairway, so I'm not blocked out by some trees that are on the right. For my third shot into this par 5, I have 170 yards back into the wind, so I hit a little punch shot with my 4 iron, try and let it run up the slope into the heart of the green, and I hit it quite good. I hold my 5-foot putt here for the birdie to get back to level par for the round. Here I hit my 7 iron a little bit thin, so it doesn't go as high and therefore doesn't have a steep descent angle to stop quickly, and as you can see it runs through the back of the green. Here I have a delicate chip shot down the tier in the green. I do hit a pretty poor chip, so I leave myself a difficult putt for par. I have a downhill part right to left break, not the easiest par putt. I give it a good roll, but it's not quite enough, so I have to just tap it in for a bogey. Not the worst score in this hole. In my practice swing, I always try to over-exaggerate what I'm trying to work on at the moment, as you can see me doing here. I'm hitting a 3-wood off this tee, off the par 5, to just try to get down to the corner, because then it's a 90-degree dogleg to the left. If I hit driver, it's taken into the bushes at the far end into play. Anything less gives me a difficult angle in, because the tree's on the left-hand side that could block me out. As my ball is just in the rough, I don't have a good enough lie to hit my 3-wood to try to get to the green in 2, so instead I'm just laying up with a short iron to give myself a nice distance into the green. I hit a perfect layup and now left myself 90 yards into the green, which is just a nice 3/4 sandwich for me. I hit it good to about 12 foot. I put a good stroke on this birdie chance. Unfortunately it just doesn't break the way I thought. It stayed pretty straight, but had a nice stress-free par. As there is out of bounds down the left hand side of this fairway, I always aim my drive at the tree line on the right. That way if I pull it slightly, I'm on the correct fairway and have an easy shot in. And if I push it slightly like I did today, I still have a good angle into the green and I'm nowhere near the out of bounds. I'm just hitting a smooth pitching wedge here. I do hit it slightly thin so it comes up just short, but it's in a fine position. I have an outside birdie opportunity on this 6th hole. I do hit a pretty poor putt and push it, but I still only have a foot and a bit for par. For this short par 4 7th, just hitting a 5-iron off the tee as there is out of bounds down the left, no trouble down the right, so I aim it down the right hand side of the fairway, and I hit a little bit of a draw so it came back to the middle of the fairway. Nice position. I just have a 75-yard shot into the green. There's out of bounds long, so the miss is definitely short here, which as you see by my result, mine does come up just short of the green. I'm just in a very basic chip and run my sand wedge here, nearly goes in, ends up a foot away. I tap it in for another par. The only trouble on this hole is down the right, and the trouble's not that bad anyways, so I tried to hit one quite hard here, get as far down as I can. I hit it good. I'm just in the left-hand rough. I have no chance of going for the green, so I'm hitting a 6-iron to lay up way short of the fairway bunkers that cross the fairways, about 80 yards short of the green. Do myself a nice distance in. Here I have 125 yards. I'm just hitting a punch shot with my pitching wedge, trying to let it bounce and then roll on. Unfortunately, it just stops straight away in the upslope of the green, but it's still a good shot and leaves myself in a good position. Here I have a basic chip and run with my gap wedge. I do hit a pretty poor chip here, but I leave myself close enough that I can hold the putt for par. This is a long uphill par 3. I'm trying to hit my 3-wood here and cut it back into the right to left breeze, hold it up in the air and hopefully I get to land soft. I don't hit it quite my best, but I still get the right shape and it's down the middle, but it comes up just short of the green. As you can see from the basic chip shot here, it shows that I've left myself in a good position and I'm not short-sighted myself at all. I hit a half decent chip, it could have been better, but I still got a putt that I can hold for par. I put a nice stroke on this par putt to finish the front 9 at 1 over par. This is a difficult par 3 as it's onto an island green with a strong left to right wind, meaning I have to start this over the water and hope that the wind brings it back. I do just that, hit a good 4-iron and it just hangs onto the left hand side of the island. I hit a good chip shot here, which leaves me with a nice tap in par on a difficult hole, so I'm very pleased with that result. This par 5 plays into the wind. Again, not much trouble anywhere, so I'm just trying to hit a hard drive, trying to go down the middle of the fairway with a baby fade. Unfortunately, I overfaded it a little bit into the wind, as the wind multiplies the spin, and I struck it out the hill, which also gives it a fade bias, so not the best combination, but I'm in a safe position on the right. I have a choice here of hitting a draw around that skinny tree in front to get back onto the fairway, but I prefer to hit fade, so I try and hit a big fade around that big oak tree in the distance with my 3-wood. I hit a really good fade here that just catches the first cut off rough on the left hand side, but I'm in a good position to attack the flag. I have 125 yards left to the flag, which allows me to hit a solid pitching wedge, which I strike really well and hit about 12 foot right of the flag. I have an uphill putt for birdie, which I don't want to leave short. I thought I'd hit a good putt here, but I must have just misread it wrong, as it doesn't turn quite as much as I thought. I can just tap it in for another stress-free par. This is a dogleg right par 4. I aim my tee shot at the trees on down the right, try and cut the corner, hit a really good shot here, leave myself in a great position on the fairway. Here I have 140 yards to the green, slightly uphill and slightly into the wind, so I hit a full 9-iron. I strike it really well, but only just reaches the front of the green. I have an outside putt for birdie here on the 12th, which I hit a really good putt, but unfortunately I leave it just short, but a nice tap in par. This is quite a short par 4 as it plays downhill and downwind. I try to hit a solid drive down the middle of a little fade, as the only danger is on the left. I hit a decent shot that goes into the rough on the right hand side. As this is downwind and out the rough, I'd expect it to come out with not much spin, and therefore when it lands, release a little bit. I only had 85 yards as well, so I couldn't generate spin from the speed of my swing. Unfortunately, it still stopped quite quickly. Here I have an opportunity for birdie. Unfortunately, I completely misread the putt. However, I get the pace right, so I do have just a tap in for par. The 14th is an uphill par 4, back into the wind. The only danger is a tree that sticks out into the fairway on the right hand side, so I start this ball down left and try to fade it back. It doesn't fade, but it's fine, so I'm just in the rough on the left hand side. As the flag's at the back of this green, and it's into the wind, I try to punch an 8-iron low, land it on the front and let it release out to the back. I pull it just slightly, so it ends up on side slope, but I got a chip chance to get it close. When hitting this chip, I don't quite take into account the fact that I'm chipping off an upslope, and the club digs in just behind the ball, and therefore it comes up short of the hole. Really, I should have played the ball a little bit further to the back of my stance and sort of popped it up, but I hold a nice putt to save the par. This hole does have out of bounds down the left, but you have to pull it quite badly to get there, so I just aim this down the middle and I get a really nice strike on it. I have 120 yards downwind to the flag. I hit a full gap wedge, making sure I really get a good strike on it because there's bunkers, so if I'd missed it, it would have come up short and gone in one. Fortunately, I do hit it well, and it hits the middle of the green. I didn't aim directly at the flag in my wedge shot, as if I'd pulled it slightly left, as you can see, it could have hit a slope and gone out of bounds, so therefore my shot to the middle of the green leaves me with an outside bird opportunity. I do hit a pretty poor putt that didn't start anywhere near on line and left myself some work to do to save par, but I put another nice solid stroke on it and it goes in the hole. For this short par 3, I just hit a 3/4 9-iron. The flag is on the front left hand side of the green. Anything left or short leaves you with a lot of trouble because you'll be short siding yourself. That's why I'm aiming for the middle of the green. I hit a slight push, but it's still on the green, so I got a birdie opportunity. I have the spotted birdie opportunity here. I started on a really good line, but unfortunately hit it a couple of feet too hard, otherwise it might have gone in. But I still give myself a chance at par. I put another good stroke on it for 12 pars in a row. This is the hardest hole on the course as it's a long par 4 with out of bounds down the left hand side. I aim my drive at the middle of the fairway trying to hit a little fade. It starts just a tiny bit right, which is why I end up in the right hand rough. I still have 225 yards to the green, so I tried to hit my driving iron there, but push it slightly to the right, leave myself in not the best position, but it's better than pulling it left and being out of bounds. I now have to hit a flop shot to try and get it onto the green. As you'll see here, I take a little bit of a divot, which I didn't really want to do. It shows that I decelerated into the ball and the club flipped over, and that's why the ball went slightly left. I have an uphill putt to save par. It just misses on the low side, but it's a bogey which I take. As I said, this is the hardest hole on the course, so it's not that bad. This is a tricky finishing hole, as it's a long uphill par 3 to a very small green. I hit my driving iron off the tee here and push it just slightly, but I get a good strike so it gets level with the green. This is not the easiest chip as the green is a bowl, upside down bowl shape. I do hit just behind the ball a tiny bit here. As you can see, it comes up short, so I have another outside chance of par. Again, I miss on the low side. Give myself a little bit of work to do for my bogey, but I just go and finish it off. A bit of a disappointing way to finish, but overall a good round off 3 over par.